Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7. Now, before we begin, I really want to let you guys know that the link to our Discord server is going to be in the description down below. If you ever want the most up-to-date builds on my units, feel free to join and ask there. I'm more than happy to share my stuff with you guys and discuss the game in general. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So we're going to go through our entire roster here. We have a couple of new units that we have built since last time, and I've swapped around a couple of builds and some pre-existing units as well. So first off here we have a Holiday Yufine, and Holiday Yufine is a little bit different. I've actually changed some of her, I changed her artifact here, and I believe I might have swapped out a couple pieces of gear, but here we go. She's on a really basically utility build, right? Have a little bit of crit chance on her. She's not really a reliable damage dealer, at least not with this build. Obviously you can build her for damage, but she's really here to counter things like Basar, and with this Snow Crystal tech, she's able to actually increase her combat readiness anytime an opponent does not crit, right? And a non-crit hit includes misses, and with her passive, being able to have a 50% chance to evade when she's at max health, quite nice. So even if you don't have a really fast Yufine like I do, this Snow Crystal tech can help you push up if you're facing against Basars, kind of throw off the opponent's combat readiness game, and get you your turn. So that's always very nice. I've been trying it out, it's actually pretty nice. So yeah, that's all the Yufine for now. Ken is not built here, so we're going to go ahead and skip him, and we actually have Lilias next. Now, my Lilias used to be kind of an effect res Lilias, but I've changed her up since then. Ever since Expeditions got their buff, yeah, been focusing a lot on that. So this is a PvE/PvP Lilias. As you can see, she still has effect res, so it's quite good. I've increased her bulk. So she needs the defense for the Earth Expedition. I kind of want to replace her. She's not that great of a frontliner for the Earth Expedition. I think they're better Fire Knights for that. But yeah, we'll see later down the line how it goes. The Earth Expedition really sucks for me. I can hit like 300-400k damage on auto, right? Not the best thing. Sword of Azira is here to help her tank the bosses in Expedition a little bit more. I actually use her in the Dark one as well. In my Dark Expedition, it's very, very nice. So yeah, if you guys ever want to see Expedition teams and stuff like that, by the way, I'm more than happy to make a video about that. Just let me know in the description, or let me know in the comment section down below if you're interested in seeing that. But yeah, Lilias, she's still usable in PvP. I just have to swap her artifact to something a little bit more useful. She still has the effect res. You know, she's still not too bad of a unit. I don't really draft her in PvP though. I tend to go for things like Falconer Kluri over her. Okay, so next up we have our Kayron. Nothing has really changed with Kayron here, but for those of you guys who haven't really seen him, he's pretty standard stuff. I almost never draft him in RTA. He's really just a counter pick against those really squishy cleave teams, right? Those people who go Cdom and like RB, you know, Flidicas and stuff. He's kind of risky to draft because Cerise is very popular, F10A is very popular, so he's really like a last pick type of unit. And I mean, in most cases where he would be the most effective, he'd probably get banned. But yeah, he's on Elia's Knife. He's kind of a tank buster unit for me. I love drafting him into, you know, ML Kraus and stuff like that with the S3EE. You know, just choke him out. And then you win. So yeah, Elia's Knife, very, very nice for cleaning up, and I might strip him of some of his gear. Might find some replacements for him because I don't really ever use him, right? But he's fully built and he works whenever I do draft him. So I don't know. I don't want to strip him, but I might. Alright, next up we have Faithless Lidica. Yeah, she got a little makeover here, and she's looking pretty nice. Now, this is all spare gear, by the way. All spare gear on her. Nothing here is super impressive, like this piece, right? Like, what is that piece? Like, actually, I swapped this to speed. This was actually quite a nice piece. I need to reforge this, because this crit chance can go up to like 20-something crit chance. Gonna be very good. But it's on her for right now, because I don't have the reforged materials. And I'm prioritizing some other pieces before that. A little bit of effectiveness here and there. I mean, she's not really going to be debuffing anything that's not a DPS unit. But yeah, she's on a full DPS kit, and now the cool thing is she can actually obliterate Kayrons. So on this build, I use her in Guild Wars. I don't use her in RTA. If my opponent has a Kayron on defense, what she'll do is she'll S3 the Kayron, kill him, well not kill him, but get him all the way down to proc his immortality, and then she strips it with her S3. And then with that, he's at the back of the line, no combat readiness at all, and, you know, any other unit that goes after the Lidica can just kind of one-tap him, right? Clean him up. So she is very, very nice for dealing with Kayrons, and yeah, I just really want more damage stats and want more speed on her. But we'll see. We'll see if we can manage that. Alright, moving on, we have our Melissa here. Now, I'm a huge fan of speed tuning units, making units for specific situations, right? Instead of making them generalists, just making them for specific situations. Now this Melissa here is used in conjunction with my Rose and my Lilibet. So Rose will push up the Melissa and Lilibet. Lilibet will snipe my opponent's Arbiter Vildred, and then Melissa will clean up the Rylet. Because you do see a lot of Arbiter Vildreds with Rylets, at least at my level in Guild Wars. I see them a lot together, and they're really annoying to deal with, so this is my way of dealing with them. Now, this does not work if the opponent goes Cerise, Arby, and Rylet, because Cerise just, you know, puts the restrict buff, and then Rose can't push up, and then you have reduced speed, so there's a chance that Rylet or Arby is going to cut in between your DPS hits. Not too great. But I do have her on Oath Key. Obviously, you're dealing with Rylet, Moonlight Dreamblaze. This ensures that she's going to get the hit and not get screwed out of a kill. But yeah, really like these stats. I would like her speed to be a bit higher, but I mean, right now she's on spare gear, right? None of this stuff is really, really impressive. I could probably reforge these boots. They're not bad. I should probably re-roll this effect res to attack as well. And, you know, it would help her out a bit, but low priority, right? Really niche. I use her in Guild Wars. But yeah, I'm just happy to have her built and for her to have a purpose. Right, next up we have Carrot. Yeah, that's right. Carrot's been pretty nice to me lately. I do need to roll some of her substats here away, right? Changes like crit chance, get rid of that. Maybe get more bulk, more defense here would be kind of nice. Maybe get rid of the crit chance. I don't want to really tweak these immunity chest pieces, but nothing rolled into crit chance here. I might get rid of it and put something else. I don't know what I want to put here, though. That's the thing. Crit chance is probably not the worst thing to have here. Maybe some flat health, flat defense. We'll have to see about that. The necklace here, really nice, right? Just getting bulk. Carrot really needs bulk, and that's why I have her on Proof of Valor as well. She's been incredible to me. At least I use her in mock battles quite a bit. I don't use her in high level RTA, but I do use her in the lower levels while I'm climbing. And yeah, she puts in work. Self-cleansing, burns the opponent, right? Triggers burn, speed down. Very, very nice kit. I have her about 200 something speed. But yeah, she doesn't need crit chance or crit damage. I want to re-roll those stats away, maybe put into effectiveness, put into some other bulk stats, maybe some more attack. Would be kind of nice. Alright, moving on here, we have Achates. Now, I kind of swapped her build around a little bit, swapped some pieces, not necessarily changing her all too much. Her speed's a little lower now. But yeah, I use her in Guild Wars. She's running some higher effect res here. She's not on immunity, because I don't really bring her into units that would really cause too much trouble in terms of debuffs. I usually pick her with General Purrgis and Dark Corvus, and Dark Corvus just claps everything. All she needs to do is survive. So she has a little bit more bulk, almost 20k HP, kind of nice, and again, none of this stuff is reforged. Actually, this is reforgeable. I should probably reforge this. Yeah, with this reforge, she'll probably hit like 20k HP, which is actually quite strong. Just to tank like a Krau horse S3 or something like that. But yeah, there you go. She's really just there as a support unit in Guild Wars. I don't draft her in RTA. Dedicated healers are a little tougher to draft in RTA, at least as of right now, right? But again, I'm glad I have her built. I'm glad that she has a niche use for me. Here, Tamarinne, she used to be on just really garbage trash gear. Now she's on spare gear that's not so actually garbage. So as you can see here, these stats, you might be like, what the heck is going on here? You have effectiveness, you have effect res, your speed isn't that great, you don't have that much bulk. Yeah, she's used for expeditions. Purely for expeditions. She completely destroys, right? She's amazing in the fire one, she's amazing in the dark one, she's absolutely amazing in the earth one as well. Yeah, I use her absolutely everywhere now, and again, you can see none of this stuff's reforged. All of it's like, I mean, free chest piece, right? Free boots, Not the best substats on all these things, but I want to reach the effectiveness. You need at least 85% effectiveness to be able to strip buffs, like in the Earth Expedition, for example. And you also need to have at least 100 effect res for the Dark Expedition, where you get to resist the cannon hits that reset your cooldowns, right? Increase your cooldowns by 1. Same thing with Lilias. Lilias is over 100 res still because of that Dark Expedition. I don't want her to get reset at all. Now, Tamarinne's on Magaraha's Tome. I would like to get this to plus 30. Don't have any artifact charms right now. Been blowing those on other things. But Magaraha's Tome, fantastic for helping her loop in expeditions. The more turns you get, because again, you have a limited amount of turns. The boss has a limited amount of turns before they just obliterate your team. Magaraha's helps you cycle so much faster, and it's incredible for keeping your team alive, giving them more turns, which in turn increases the amount of damage output. Right? Yeah, so absolutely amazing. And with this bulk, she doesn't ever die in expeditions. You always make it till the end, or she's like one of the last ones standing. Okay, so here we go. Next up, the Queen of Expeditions. Now I know a lot of people are like trashing on Luna, like, oh my gosh, she doesn't have a place anymore, but oh, let me tell you, Luna right here re-geared for expeditions, and now she has a place. Like, she's always been really nice as a nuker. Oxlot's pushed her, Soulburn, snipe a unit in Guild War, maybe 2 units if you ran her EE. But right here, no I-90 gear except her boots. This was just I think this boot belonged to Green Vildred at some point, but then I put him on a speed boot, and so now he doesn't need it anymore. But Luna on full damage, essentially. Full damage, but she's on a speed set now. She needs to hit at least like around 160 speed for her to get enough turn cycling and things like that, for things like the Ice Expedition, which she's really good in. You only need 70% crit chance because of her passive, which gives her 30% more. And yeah, her attack, her crit damage, very solid. I would like to get more crit damage in attack, but as of right now, she works perfectly fine. Uberius's Tooth is used as an artifact here. Now, it's not the best artifact to use. I'd actually want to get like Exorcist Tonfa, the one that gives you additional damage on your basic attack, right? I think that's going to be better for her in expeditions, but I don't have that right now plus 30'd, so I just have this because I had 2 copies of it. Merged it together, slapped it on her. She works perfectly fine. I am putting the Combat Readiness EE on her, which allows her to push up. I actually went and crafted this for the just for the extra bit of attack. Right? I actually went out of my way to do this because she was putting in so much work. She hits over, well, in the Fire Expedition, at least with my team, I get over 1 million. I can get over 1 million damage easily on auto against level 3 expedition. I actually have to stop it prematurely so that other people can join in the battle, and so I don't, screw people out of rewards, right? You want as many people to join the expeditions as possible before it gets cleared for maximum value. And then in a Dark Expedition, I think she hits she hits at least 600k. I've seen her end the expedition with about 800k damage in total, so it's pretty nice as well. Yeah, so Luna absolutely obliterates expeditions. Very, very happy about this this gear here. Okay, enough about Luna and the expeditions, though. Moving on, we have the Queen of Wyvern, Sigret. I actually don't know if you guys have seen this build, but maybe you have. So she is on a full destruction set now. Absolutely no speed. Ton of attack, ton of crit damage, not a ton of crit chance, but that's because I pair her specifically with Karin, and Karin has a team crit chance imprint for 15% crit chance, so it brings Sigret up to 85% against the Wyvern, which she has elemental advantage against. She gets another 15%, so she'll have 100% crit chance against Wyvern no matter what. Daydream Joker over here, just for additional damage against Wyvern. And yeah, this EE to trigger her S2 into an S1, right? Not too bad. She has effectiveness, so she actually does put debuffs on the Wyvern. This gear was chosen specifically because of the effectiveness, and I have a hit set as well here to boost that as well. Yeah, absolutely love my Sigret. Really great in Wyvern, although I haven't really been farming Wyvern for the past like month and a half or so, focusing on Banshee, and you'll see why very, very soon. Alright, moving on, we have Krau here, absolutely amazing tank. Now, I really need better gear for him, right? 21k HP, probably not going to be cutting it nowadays. Might lower his defense a little bit. I really don't feel like lowering his effect res. I know a lot of people are running like Krau at around 100, 120 effect res. with more speed, HP, and stuff like that, but I don't know. Effect res is such a valuable tool, and I just don't want to give it up. I don't want to give it up. Yeah, he's on Aureus. Now, he used to be on the plus 30 Aureus, but I gave that to FCC, so now he's on this one here. It's actually quite nice because he actually has less bulk than most of the Kraus. By absorbing a little bit less damage, it actually helps him stay alive a little bit better. So, quite happy about that, actually. Obviously, I'm going to try to plus 30 this eventually, but as of right now, it works. Alright, moving on, we have Rose. Rose is one of the other units I use in my Fire Expedition, but obviously she's geared for PvP. She just happens to work in the Fire Expedition as my Ice Tank on the front line. Attack buff, CR push, barriers, cleanse, all that stuff. Very good, very versatile unit. Yeah, she's on like offset pieces, really just for the speed. I could make her much faster, but as of right now, she does her job at 250. I don't really draft her too much in RTA nowadays, just because Cleave really suffers. Like, there's so many bruisers, so many tanks. It's quite insane. I mean, it's not as bad as the old tank meta, where it's just 4 Knights and Ruel, but, you know, things like General Purrgis and stuff like that, all over the place. 8 high winds, ML Kraus. It's a pain to deal with. So, unfortunately, slow Cleave is no longer very much a thing, but, hey, sometimes when it works, if you see the opening in the draft, you can go for it. And when it works, it works. But yeah, she's on Bastion to help protect my DPS. I might move Bastion to somebody else, and I'll put like a, you know, maybe an Aureus or something on her. I don't know. I don't know yet what I really want to put on her. Maybe Steadfast Guardian, in case like someone tries to outspeed, takes the turn AoEs, and then she gets to push herself up, then push the team up. Perhaps. I'll have to test it. Bastion might be better on somebody else, though, depending on how I re-gear my bruisers and my DPS later down the line. But yeah, moving on here, we have Karin here, and she's my sub DPS in Wyvern, right? She's not a dedicated debuffer. I don't really like building her as a dedicated debuffer with, what is it called? The bleed artifact, right? Whatever it's called. Torn Sleeve, yeah. I don't really like that. Unless you have a maximum broken Torn Sleeve, it's not very reliable. So she's just on, you know, 70% effectiveness, enough to debuff Wyvern, puts defense breaks on. She's, you know, pretty decent amount of attack and crit damage. She'll do some work. She's on some spare pieces of gear. As you can see, none of it's I-90'd. 2 of these pieces are free here, right? So she's here also for her imprint, right? 15% imprint here for the 2 people in the back line. Very nice, actually. Again, works really well with my Sigret. And yeah, Daydream Joker for the additional damage. Alright, moving on, we have Kise over here. Been using her in RTA quite a bit recently, actually. Quite nice. I actually molded her S1 so that she can actually try to deal with Rylets. So you soul burn this into a Rylet who has evasion. And yeah, even if you miss, you'll be able to deal a huge chunk of damage. Very respectable damage. But yeah, here are her stats. What I really want to do, actually, is kind of re-roll some of these things, right? Maybe get rid of that defense, put some speed there, right? Here, actually, this is okay. It's not a great piece because it didn't roll really well, but it's okay, right? Just there for the speed. This one, again, just for the speed. A lot of flat attack actually helps her out quite a bit, but yeah, mostly for the speed there. This piece here, oh yeah, re-rolled this for crit damage. This is actually a very nice piece now. I'm very happy with this piece. Got her a little bit of extra crit damage there, which was quite nice. And this one right here, see the effect res. I can get rid of that. Maybe put crit chance. I don't know about that. She's already 100% crit chance, but that might allow me to free up something like this helmet, right? I can get a crit chance, or get a helmet with less crit chance, maybe a bit more crit damage and attack or something, maybe more speed. I do want her to be faster. I want her to be about like 250 something, but as of right now, it's not happening. She's on Portrait of the Saviors, really good artifact for her. Allows her S3 to just completely snipe somebody out, right, at the start of the match. So not too bad, not too bad. All right, moving on, we have Cerise, one of the new faces here in our account overview. And yeah, molded her, love using her. Don't draft her all too much in RTA, because she's very good utility, but doesn't fit into every team comp, right? So these are her stats here. 280 speed. I mean, she's not that fast. She's pretty slow for Cerise, but as you can see, my speed rolls here, 15 speed helmet, 13 speed chest piece. My speed set speed rolls suck, right? They absolutely suck. This is probably one of my fastest pieces, 20 speed there. One of my fastest effectiveness rings, but it's on a crit set, so it kind of sucks, but hey, it works. Yeah, and you know, all this. I might get rid of the effect res here, put something like HP, then it might be a pretty decent boot overall. She has low effectiveness too, only 100%, not 150 like most standard Cerises. But this is working with pretty much like spare speed pieces, because I didn't want to prioritize her and just her, right? I didn't want her to reach over 300 speed and then all my other units kind of just can't contest anything. At least where I am, this is okay, right? Like acids and stuff that are still gonna be in 300 speed range are gonna clap, but this is like okay. She's on Miss Confile or Confile, and this is really for expeditions here, but it's also really good in general, right? Because she can dual attack. She can proc dual attacks with her S1 if her S3 is on cooldown. So you'll, you know, S1 into somebody, defense break them, and then whoever your follow-up DPS is that went with her claps that person. So this is a really strong artifact. I would like more merges on this. I would like more limit breaks. But we're gonna have to wait for Guilty Gear collab for that, right? So yeah, there we go. That's my Cerise. Not too great, but she works. Here we go. We have Flan, and yeah, she got stripped of a lot of her gear. No longer on like a lot of 90 pieces, on a bunch of 85s. But you can see like nothing really changed about her, right? Her speed's still pretty good. Her bulk's still there. Her effectiveness is still there. She works at this range. Okay. I really want to actually change this because it's on a hit set, right? I want to change this effect res to effectiveness. That'd actually be quite nice. This will make this piece really, really strong. But yeah, there you go. Not the greatest speed rolls on everything, just bulk, some effectiveness here and there, right? Not the greatest necklace or something either. On spare stuff, I don't really draft her in RTA, but she's really fun in guild. She's actually on my Guild War defense, and she generates a lot of green shields. Absolutely love it. She's on her own artifact here, which actually gives you souls to soul burn with, which is quite nice, right? Push up a teammate. They instantly have a soul burn for some extra damage, or maybe defense break the whole team, and then your cleaver goes after, can soul burn and just one shot everything, right? So not too bad. Okay, next up we have Seaside Bellona. She actually got a lot of my gems. I put a lot of gems to good use here. As you can see, no longer a 100 effectiveness SSB, way more attack, bit more bulk too, hitting over into the 15k HP range, and 1300 defense, which is quite nice. A bit more crit damage as well. So here you go, here are her pieces. I want to get rid of effectiveness here, but I don't know what, maybe HP percent? HP percent might be good for that piece right there, right? For this piece, got this is a pretty good roll into HP, actually. This used to be effectiveness up there, not too bad. For this one here, might want to get rid of speed, right? Get some crit damage in there. I rolled attack percent into this piece as well, right? Quite nice. She's actually looking pretty good right here. I would really like to put her on a lifesteal set again, but as of right now, I think the only thing I really want to change is her boots, right? But the boots have such good like bulk here. It has pretty decent bulk, right? Rolled decently. It's just that it rolled too many times into effectiveness. So if I can kind of change this to maybe crit damage down here, that would be quite nice. Yeah, she's on drink. Does SSB things, right? Sits in the back with this kind of bulk. Very nice. People have a hard time trying to one-shot her. Especially with her passive. So with Aureus, like Adamant, Seaside in the back, you're looking pretty strong. Okay, moving on here, we have Dizzy. Yes, counter Dizzy. I've been using her quite a bit in RTA. If you guys have been watching recent videos, here are her stats, right? Very bulky here. She actually has a lot of effect res, just accidentally. It's just sprinkled in there. Because a lot of my counter pieces, for some reason, just love rolling effect. Look at this. Like, actually not. This is effectiveness, but look at this, effect res. Like, so many counter pieces just rolling effect res, right? Yeah, so there's a lot of effect res here too. She's on Isle Island, probably the best in slot if you're on a counter Dizzy. Now, I know some people really like their speed Dizzies. Speed Dizzies are very scary. Personally, for me, counter Dizzy, the sack potential is just so strong. With this bulk, they're going to have a very hard time getting rid of her, especially with immunity. Like, if you can't defense break her, she's going to be there for a while, right? Always a constant threat. Moving on, we have Fairytale Tenebria. Swap some pieces around on her as well. Not really great stuff, right? Not really great. Very slow, decent bulk, good enough effectiveness. And yeah, she's not on the full immunity set or anything. I don't actually have the pieces for that, unfortunately. Been lacking in the immunity pieces department. It's kind of spreading my gear out a little too thin, but she works. I don't really draft her in RT. I really want to re-gear her. I want to make her really fast. So we'll see if I can do that during the next free on equip event. She's on Sierra Ren because I don't have Abyssal Crowns. It's on Broman, and I prefer Abyssal and Broman more. So she's on Sierra Ren, which is actually not too bad, right? She's a lot of good debuffs here. Like nothing here is to laugh at. Maybe the poison. Maybe the poison, but everything else is actually very strong. So not a very underrated artifact. I want to get this to plus 30 just to increase this chance. But yeah, overall, very happy with her. Okay, and yeah, she does have molas because I'm trying to get friendship just so I can get these 3 molas, right? I don't want to put 3 molas into her, then get the 3 friendship and have to put them into like damage. So that's the reason for that. Moving on, we have Luluca over here. Yeah, so I was originally going to gear her towards expeditions, but then I got better team comps now. So I don't use her in the fire expedition or anything like that anymore. I don't use her in the dark expedition. I used to. So I no longer have to gear her to be bulky, to be high effectiveness and stuff like that. But I still have... This was me like working towards that before I got my current teams. So as of right now, she works. Nothing about her to complain about. She's still a PvE queen. Absolutely love her. And her skin's very nice too. She's on Midnight Bloom here for the additional crit chance, mostly for herself. I wish I got the new artifact that came with Ida, right? The one that gives 10% max limit broken. It's like 10% crit chance to everybody, and then it gives herself the wearer effectiveness. So that would have been great on Luluca. I actually really wanted just for Luluca, but because she's not a limited unit, Ida at least, and the artifact's not limited, I might randomly get it in the future. So just waiting on that. Yes, her EE here is the one that gives an extra attack with the S1. Actually comes in quite clutch. You have 2 chances essentially to defense break, right, with her S1. Quite nice, and because mine's on the damage build, more damage is always good, especially in a PvE environment. Alright, so moving on here, we have Angelic Montmorancy. Now, she used to be on a 250-something res build, but lowered it down. She's now just used for PvE. I don't bring her in PvP, mostly because her cleanses are weak, right? She's not like Ray or Destina, who just full team cleanses, gets rid of everything. She cleanses 1 debuff from each of your units. Unless you get lucky, they might cleanse 2. And her S3, it's not that impactful, right? It's not huge, especially against F10As and stuff. You won't even get your immunity buff. Because if F10A puts unbuffable on you, then you won't be able to get the immunity there. Right? She'll still cleanse, but you won't get the immunity, which kind of sucks. But yeah, she's on Rod of Amaryllis, just used in PvE now, just, you know, Labyrinth, things like that. So reduced her effect res to just enough, right? Just enough, and increased her bulk. Alright, so moving on here, we have Diene, right? And Diene here, oh yeah, loving her build. I think her speed is fine. I'm trying to get more bulk on her. I've been, as you can see, yeah, right here, you know, re-rolling some HP percent here. This is actually a really nice helmet now. I want to re-roll, nothing there. Yeah, re-roll this crit damage down here, right? Maybe flat attack, flat defense or something. Be quite nice. Re-roll this crit chance here to get something else here, right? Flat attack, or not flat attack, flat HP, flat defense. Same thing with this boot. Get rid of the crit damage, right? So get a little bit more bulk on her. If I can get her to like 17k HP and maybe 1,500 defense, that would be very, very nice DN. So, yeah, I do like to draft her, but she's not that great right now with like LR Krau's being very prominent. But because I've been pre-banning him, I do draft her from time to time. She's pretty good. Alright, moving on, we have Alencia. So Alencia here, yeah, this is my 230 speed Alencia. I like her on speed. This defense buff, by the way, she goes before most of my opponent's DPSs, and I know, you know, if you go before their buffers, you can't strip, but the defense buff is invaluable. The defense buff being put up so early, before all their incoming damage, really screws them over. I still need to reforge her necklace and her ring here. But yeah, otherwise, very, very happy with her build. She would give you even more speed after reforges too. She's on Draco play here to increase some of her crit damage because, you know, my ring and stuff suck. They don't have crit damage anywhere here, but I do like the bulk. I don't know if I'm gonna change this like flat defense to crit damage. I feel like her bulk is more important because she's in there for the long haul, right? If you draft Alencia, you're not gonna be cleaving. You're in it for the long haul. So yeah, Draco plate very nice for reducing the damage she takes as well. Alright, so moving on, we have Lilibet, so another unit that was speed-tuned with my, or not speed-tuned, but goes with my Melissa for Guild Wars here. Plus 30 Portrait actually helps her quite a bit with her damage and her attack. Ooh, a piece like this, yeah, I want to get that effect res out and get some speed in there, that'd be quite nice. Getting a 200 speed Lilibet is actually not too bad. If you have any form of a CR push, she'll go before most Arbies, and then you'll be able to snipe them down, so not too bad. This piece here is very awkward. I might just give her the effect res for like speed or something. The attack rolled quite well, right? This piece is okay. It's an okay piece. It's not the best piece, but it's so hard to get right side pieces. That's why I haven't I-90'd it, just because she doesn't need the extra crit chance as of right now. The ring here, yeah, free ring and boots, no attack percent or anything here. If I get, oh, I don't know, maybe if I get attack percent, I'll get rid of like the defense or maybe the flat HP. Maybe the flat HP, put some attack percent or something in there. We'll have to see. This is not a great boot anyway, so I don't know if I'll even use stones on it. Plus 30 Portrait helps to snipe the Arbies, and extra damage with the S3, right, to help snipe Arbies, especially nowadays where you see a lot of counter Arbies out there, degen Arbies, so that's something to look out for. Alright, moving on here, Mercenary Helga. She's getting her buff soon. I'm going to re-gear her after her buff. But this is her current build right now. I know she used to have a 100% crit chance. She was on a crit chance neck, but I swapped her over to a crit damage one because she gives herself crit chance buff. After the buff, it'll be as long as she's above 70% HP, right? So I want to make her bulky. I need to get more bulk on her, and I want to suit her up for damage. I feel like she's going to be very fun to use, right? And reroll some of these stats, right? Get like this effect res out of here, this 20% effect res. I can get attack percent right there, right? That'd be quite nice too. Farming Banshee has been giving me quite a few pieces here and there that are decent, right? Just decent. And again, her boots suck. It could definitely use like crit chance or something. I just need to get a different boot. This one here, this boot, I might swap crit damage for like, I don't know, effectiveness, effect res, and just slap this on a different unit overall. Didn't roll horribly here, but yeah, anyway. She's currently on Champion's Trophy, just so if she counters, she has the potential to stun. Obviously, I probably want to put her on something like Sigurd's Scythe, but I don't want to use the gold to swap. I know, it sounds really cheap. I don't want to use the gold to swap this artifact around right now. Waiting for free on equip event when she gets her buff, right? Anytime units get buffs, the buff updates, they usually drop a free on equip event with that. So waiting for that here. But yeah, moving on, we have Yufine. So Yufine is, yeah, still full damage build. Nothing really changed with her. So here's her gear. I don't really use her all that much. I'm trying to find a use for her, right? Kind of like how I found a use for Luna and all that stuff. It's very nice. Feels good. But I'm trying to find a place for her. She is used in my Ice Expedition, but I think I can get a better Ice Expedition team that might not need her. But we'll have to see. As of right now, sometimes I'll bring her into Guild Wars, Oxlot's push, snipe a unit, but other than that, not really used all too much. She's on Hellcutter because her crit chance is not too high, so this, coupled with her slow speed, means she's going to guarantee a crit. And she's on this isn't even maxed. You don't need effectiveness on her, you just need the one that gives extra damage on the S1, which is quite nice, actually, for finishing units off. Alright, moving on here, we have Charles. Yes. I pulled an extra Charles, but mine's already SSS imprint, right? So here we go. This is his gear. Nothing's really changed about it. I've touched up a couple pieces here and there. This is just flat attack here. I think this was effectiveness, so he doesn't need effectiveness at all. You don't need any on him. If he's stripping he's guaranteed to strip a DPS anyway. They don't have any effect res. Yeah, and mostly just bulk, right? Just bulk, damage. I love drafting Charles. He's so fun to use. Just not too much in actual RTA right now because there's so many things like landies and stuff running around where you can't counter them. So Charles has kind of fallen off because of that, unfortunately. Alright, so moving on here, we have Falconer Kluri. So Falconer Kluri is actually speed tuned with a few of my units. It's actually quite nice. I do want to swap some things around here, like get rid of this attack percent, right? Don't need this attack percent here. Actually, don't need crit chance either. This piece is a little weird. It's a little awkward. But the effectiveness and speed are quite nice. I do need to get her a bit faster. I want to get her like 265, 270 speed maybe. But as of right now, I just don't have the gear for her. And all the other units that I want to build on speed as well. Really awkward necklace, horrible substats, but it had the speed, so it's on her. Same thing with this. Actually, this was quite a decent ring. This used to be attack percent here. It used to be like 20% attack or something. Swapped it to defense. I know you lose a lot of value here, but it was a lesser substat change thing, right? It's not a greater one. If I get a greater one, this is probably one of the priorities here. If I get this to higher defense, I just reforge this and get a bit more speed out of it, good bulk out of it too. Helps clear out quite a bit. And yeah, not a great boot either, but it had the bulk and stuff. Might switch this flat attack to something else. But yeah, had the effectiveness, so it's not too bad. Over 100 something effectiveness. I actually do use her in my fire expedition team. Yeah, she's not at the front lines. Rose is on the front lines, but she is here because she can loop the fire boss out of its silence phase, because Luna can't do that by herself. I used to use Commander Lorena, but Luna does way more damage. But because Luna can't do that by herself, Kluri actually helps with that. And also she has a constant defense breakup on the boss. It's fantastic. Adamant Shield as well, really good for just helping the team out, reducing some damage. I like drafting her in RTA with my FCC, because plus 30 Aureus, plus 30 Adamants, nothing to laugh at. Plus the defense break potential from the Falconer Kluri makes it so even your, typically non-damage dealing units can hit for quite a bit of damage. So it's not too bad. Alright, moving on here, we have my Celine, and Celine also has been getting a couple of substat change stones here and there. But here are her stats, right? Here I got a bit more speed. This low rolled, so I was kind of sad about that. Yeah, I do like the bulk on her though. I would not re-roll these, and she has the crit chance, so I'm not going to re-roll those. But something like effectiveness, effect res, I might get rid of the effect res here and just put, I don't know, flat attack, speed. Speed would be good there too, right? Something to just fill in these gaps of useless stats, right? She doesn't even need effectiveness either, but effectiveness is usually a little bit more useful than effect res on a damage dealing piece like this, if you were to choose one. Because if I were to move this piece to somebody else, typically effectiveness is more useful than effect res. A lot of flat attack here and stuff. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of effectiveness here, put some speed, right? This was actually a pretty decent piece. It rolled too much into flat attack, but hey, it got her the stats, right? That's what matters. And for this one here, I can probably, I don't know if I want to get rid of any of this defense here. I actually kind of like the bulk, but I can get crit damage, right? She does her work. I like a fast Celine just because she's such a strong unit. She's actually on my arena defense team, so she deters cleaves, right? And if you're doing that, you need a plus 30 Secret Art Sword Storm. If you miss this proc, you basically just threw, right? So if you're using Celine and using her artifact, this needs to be plus 30. Like, I use Bottle of Knowledge on it. Now, I do kind of regret it because I pulled an extra copy of this, like, randomly when I was summoning for Ida. So that felt bad. So now I have this random Secret Art Sword Storm laying around that I can't use. But anyway, plus 30 on this, never regretted it, not once. Okay, maybe a little bit when I summoned an extra copy, but... Alright, she's on her EE here that deals more damage and attacks a unit with the highest attack. I don't like the RNG factor, so this fixes it. I know some people are like, oh, but you can bait Celines and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're drafting Celine, you know what you're going to be killing, right? You know what you want to use it against. If they're drafting Kayrons and stuff, there's way more enough counters to Kayron that you don't have to worry about it. Okay, moving on here, we have Vildred. He's on spare gear now, not really using him too often. Cleave is dead, right? So because Cleave is kind of dead, I kind of stripped him of his better pieces. I mean, stuff like this is still fantastic. I'm gonna definitely move his gear around during the next free on equip. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Vildred. I got into Friendship 10 and everything, like, come on. But you can't really cleave too well in RTA right now, so very sad. He has some very good pieces. Obviously, things like this effect res can be changed to crit damage. Would be quite nice to round out some stats. He's on a plus 18 portrait, just a really awkward portrait here, but yeah, I should probably plus 30 this, especially because Guilty Gear is coming back, right? We're gonna need more, gonna get more portraits. Gonna be quite nice for all the damage dealers out there. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't really use him anymore. I don't even have speed imprints on him, just because I randomly pulled him one time. Never really got extra copy. Actually, I did get one extra copy of him in a random daily summon, I think, and I slapped it into Arby. Alright, anyway, what we have here is Bellona. Bellona is actually on a damage build now. She used to be on a kind of support hybrid build, but she's on a damage build. I use her in Azimanic. I'm trying to get her to work in Banshee for a faster Banshee run. I don't have a one-shot comp for Banshee or anything like that. Maybe I'll retune Yufine for something like that. I do have a Rage set that I can put on her. That could work, but I need to do a lot of speed tuning and things like that with my existing units. I don't really want to build a new unit dedicated just for PvE, just for hunts. But yeah, that's the stuff that she's on. She's actually quite nice with this damage because she's on Bloodstone. She can actually heal your team for quite a bit, so it's like kind of providing a secondary sustain, right? And yeah, I'm on the EE that allows her to decrease defense, because if you're using her against Banshee, you don't want her to miss those defense breaks. Oh, but if you're using her in Azimanic, you might want to switch to the one that dispels a debuff on her S2. Although for me, I run Iseria in that team for Azimanic, and the unbuffable from Iseria is usually enough to stop the Azimanic from enraging. Speaking of Iseria here, though, oh, she's re-geared and she has a purpose. I felt bad because I haven't used her in so long. The Iseria Tamarinne just doesn't work anymore. Even in Arena, right? Even in Guild Wars in Arena, you really use Iseria Tamarinne anymore, which is quite sad. But look at this. It's going to be very similar. If you think that these stats look very much like Tamarinne's, they are. She's geared specifically for the purpose of having effect res and effectiveness, kind of like Tamarinne as well. Because I use her in expeditions. She's using a Dark Expedition, and she claps in there. Absolutely amazing unit. And yeah, I mean, effect res ring, right? Look at this. She has a specific purpose. So the Iseria here goes with my Tamarinne. She has enough bulk to survive. She has whatever. It doesn't matter her speed, right? She doesn't need to go before Tamarinne or anything. You don't really care about that. And you have the effectiveness. 85% or more is all you need. To debuff the expedition bosses who have 100% res, and you have the effect res here. You need over 100% effect res to resist the cannon inside the Dark Expedition, the level 3 one at least. So yeah, there we go. Actually, no, even in all the ones, I think you need 100 effect res. But yeah, I run the level 3 ones. She does so much work. Defense breaks, target debuff from Song of the Stars, which I gave to her. Very, very strong. Right, just unbuffables, strips the defense buff that the Dark Expedition boss sometimes puts on itself. So if you have unbuffable on, she prevents it. If the boss already has it, she can strip it. So very strong utility unit. And again, as you can see, nothing's I-90'd on her. Completely spare gear, right? Like no one uses, like who uses this piece, right? Completely spare gear. You guys can probably make it work as well. So if you're having trouble with expeditions, maybe I'll put out an expedition video, show my team in action, right? Okay, next up we have Rin. I really want to increase some of her stats here, right? I can get her to about 1,400 defense and 19,000 HP, I think, and a bit more speed. But it would reduce some of... Actually, I can probably reduce the effect res, right? She doesn't need any effect res. But yeah, something like this. I don't need this. I don't need the effect res here, but... yeah, whatever. Her piece is not too great. I don't really farm Banshee all that much. I just started recently in the past like month or so to try to get more pieces. Counter pieces are low on my priority list as of right now because I've been focusing more on lifesteal. She's on Celestine because counter Rin yeah, carries with this. She's really good in Hall of Trials. I use her a lot in Hall of Trials, so that's something to look forward to. Here, her EE is the one that dispels a debuff from all allies. Very strong because unbuffable screws Rin over, right? You don't want to get your team unbuffable and then your Rin can't use her S3. So this helps a lot. Alright, moving on here, we have Roana. Roana here re-geared a little bit, actually. Her effect res is low, but honestly, this doesn't really matter. And the reason why is because if the rest of your team gets unhealable and unbuffable, it's over, right? Roana's useless. If the rest of your team can't heal because of her passive, she's useless. So it doesn't even matter if she has, like, like 150 effect res or not. Obviously, the higher the better. But at 100% effect res, it's good enough where, like, random things can't provoke her, random things can't, debuff her and stuff. But she's almost always the last unit standing. Almost always, right? There's almost no situation where she's not. She's on a defense set that actually rolled quite well into, like, HP and effect res. So that's why I slapped it on her. Mostly because she doesn't care all too much. You can put immunity on her, but again, I've never run into a situation where I was like, oh my god, my Roana's unhealable, I'm gonna lose, right? It's usually, oh my god, all my other units are unhealable, now I lose. Yeah, random speed boot here. I kind of want to put her on a counter set, but my counter pieces are very lacking, so unfortunately that can't happen. Yeah, she's on Stella Harpa. I love this artifact, so good. I bring Roana's into F10As, in RTA, in arenas, in Guild Wars sometimes, so she does work, she does work. This artifact procs a lot more than most people give it credit for, right? Think about all the times you get 15%ed by somebody, like ML Rin, Falconer Kluri get 15%ed. Multiply that by 3, that's your chances of dispelling a debuff. Every time you're hit. Every time. It's not even once per turn. Every time you're hit, right? So she's very strong, especially against AoE teams. Alright, so moving on here, speaking of AoE teams and being very strong against them, General Purrgis, the new meta, right? Good old doggo right here. I really need to build a PvP version, but right now mine's a Wyvern version. He works though. I mean, if I bring him into PvP, he almost never takes a turn, but he pushes the team up, right? So he's not too bad. Obviously, if you were to bring him into PvP, get crit damage, get crit chance on him, get speed, get bulk, and get, actually that's about it. Yeah, he just needs some damage. He just needs damage and like about 200 speed, 250 crit damage, 100% crit chance, 2k attack, 20k attack, bit of defense, and you're good to go, right? Don't need effectiveness, don't need effect res, anything like that. Just damage. He scales off his HP, so he's really good. Proof of Valor here because he's tanking Wyvern, and extra push from the S2. So not too bad, not too bad. Alright, moving on though, we have little Queen Charlotte, who, yeah, I need to rework her. I've been trying to slap random gears around, like reworking her gears to see what could work and what could not. I think I just need to craft more pieces, is all. But yeah, I like her attack. I would like more bulk. I actually kind of want her to get like 17, 18k HP while keeping the rest of her stats. It's going to be very hard to do, but I think it's doable because if you look at this, like look at this trash boot right here, right? Look at this, guys. Look at this trash boot. I could have gotten so much more stuff out of this, but this is horrible. The boot is definitely going to be the first thing to go. I'm just trying to figure out a way to move all my other gears around so that she still maintains 100% crit chance. Sigrid Scythe here, she has my plus 27 one, so yeah, she claps with this. She's never gonna die. That's why I wanted to get like 17, 18k HP, so I can bring her into Rylets and stuff, and they can never one-shot her. that's the dream. But yeah, there you go. She still does her work. I know she's on non-immunity, but honestly, with how many strippers and openers there are nowadays, if you're not taking turn 1, you're gonna get your immunity stripped, so it doesn't even matter, at least in my opinion. Right. All right, so moving on here, we have Crimson Armin. Crimson Armin here. She's getting a buff, actually. Very strong buff, where she just mitigates damage in general. Crits, non-crits, everything. So I might retool her a little bit. I would like to get her to have more speed. If you were to bring her into RTA, get like a 250 speed Carmen. Just get 250 speed Carmen, and then just sit there. And then the opponent won't know what to do. So right now she's on spare gear. She works. I only use her in Guild Wars. But, oh, and I use her in the arena as well, sometimes in auto-battling arena. She's on Aureus right here. Would like to get a plus 31 on her as well, but again, I don't use her all too often, so she's kind of a low priority. A friend of mine tossed the idea of making a Bruiser Carmen, especially because mine's plus 15. Don't ask why, but it is. But yeah, of like a counter bruiser Armin would be kind of cool to kind of see. But yeah, moving on here. Yes, lifesteal. So one of the reasons I've been farming Banshee non-stop for the past month and a half is to get Tempest Surin onto a decent build, and I think I've kind of accomplished it. I'm pretty happy with her build right now. Right, so here are her stats here. I really love her crit damage. Crit chance at 100% is very... She's actually over 100%, which kind of sucks. I wish I could reduce crit somewhere else to give her like more attack, right? Got lucky with re-rolling some speed here. Like this got 4 speed max roll, this got 4 speed max roll, quite nice. This here got some extra flat attack. I don't have an attack percent one, but if I get an attack percent, I'll definitely re-roll this for attack percent to boost her attack here up a little bit more. Here I want speed. I want to replace this effectiveness with speed. She doesn't need effectiveness. Unless you're building a dedicated debuffing T-Cern, she doesn't need effectiveness. She's going to silence and unbuffable any DPS you hit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Right here, I would like to replace this flat health with flat attack, and I think with that, she would hit over 3,200 attack here, which would be quite nice. Lower her HP a little bit more, increase her speed, and then I would actually be quite happy with that. Yeah, this necklace actually rolled decently. Like, it has a lot of crit chance, except it went over the cap, right? I have too much crit chance now. Maybe I'll switch off the crit set if I can get 2 pieces here that are better. Maybe something like hit set or whatever, but I haven't found anything better to replace her with. But right now, I draft her so much in RTA. Anytime people draft like debuffs and things, squishier units, T-Surin in there cuts their team and then completely obliterates. 1v1's RBs, 1v1's Kayrons. So super strong. But yeah, very happy with how she turned out. Next up, we have Celeste. Now, Celeste here, unfortunately, not on great pieces. She's still, I mean, because I can get her to over 305, 300, like almost 310 speed, I think, probably, if I put all my best pieces on her. But there's no point because Cleave is kind of dead in the current meta. So she's on some random stuff here. Not the best. I mean, look at this, 9 speed necklace, really. She doesn't need effectiveness, by the way, so you can put any ring that has speed on it. She doesn't need effectiveness at all. She's going to push back. I mean, anyone who's trying to speed contest you is never going to have effect res, so you don't need effectiveness on her. And yeah, a bit of crit chance to guarantee that she pushes C-Dom up. You're going to notice that this boot is not reforged either, so she would be like 286 speed. Yeah, that would make her my fastest unit. She's currently still my fastest unit, 281, right? Yeah, my Cerise is 280. My Lidica, who's coming up, she's like 275. But yeah, she's on Unseen Observer. No need to like max this, like put anything into this because all you're really doing this for is the 10 souls. If you really want to min-max some damage, I guess you could, but really, if you're relying on Celeste to kill somebody, you done goof somewhere in your draft, or in your fight. So I can get her faster. But crit chance necklaces for me never like to roll speed, so very sad about that. I might actually end up stripping her to build some more units. I don't know, we'll see. This is going to be very sad. I love Celeste design. Very simple, very clean, very nice. Next up is Lidica, though. Also someone who I just don't use anymore in RTA because she's screwed by things like the rise of General Purrgis, ML Krau's, like so many units. They're so tanky and just punish you for using AoEs. So here we go. This is my Lidica using some of my best speed pieces, right? 21 speed there, 21 speed there. I can obviously change things like effect res over to effectiveness. That'd actually be quite nice. This is my fastest speed set chest piece, which is also sad. Very sad about this one. Yeah, see, this is my fastest crit chance neck, is 16 speed. So horrible luck in terms of that. Fastest effectiveness ring is 13 speed. That's on a speed set. Yeah, so she could be much better, but unfortunately right now, this is the best I can do. But it's still not too shabby. She's quite slow, but that's why I currently have her on Guiding Light, just to ensure that she doesn't get sniped by acids and stuff. Although, again, I don't really draft her all too much anymore, so very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. One of my favorite units in the game. Alright, so next up we have Watcher Shuri. Again, actually, I do draft him quite a bit. I do draft him quite a bit if I see an opening for a speed contest, but I'm not committing to a cleave, right? Watcher Shuri just deletes anybody. He deletes anybody I want, so if I can get some like flat attack here or speed there, right? He has some flat attack here already. If I can get some additional speed somewhere here, get some flat attack here in place of the effectiveness, right? This is a flat attack ring actually, that's perfect. And maybe flat attack here in place of the defense, right? Then this would be a perfect Watcher Shuri. He would clap so many things. And the reason why he's not on full damage is because I like the speed. With him and being able to push up, like let's say I use Lidica, right? He'd imprint her to 285 speed. I'd be able to push him up. He'd probably take the turn before most DPS, most tanks and stuff like that, LR Kraus, and just be able to snipe somebody is really nice. He's on Sachet because my Sachet is plus 24. I would like him on Guiding Light, but because my Guiding Light would be plus 15, he'd actually lose attack. So to squeeze out every little bit, I have him on Sachet. It's actually quite nice too, because if he snipes somebody, pushes your whole team up. So pretty good, pretty good. Next up we have Broman. Broman, yeah, unfortunately, I know some of you guys want to see him in action again in RTA, but again, we have like the golden boys running around, right? You have General Purrgis, who is going to punish you for using an AoE on Broman. You have LR Krau, it's going to get barriers and everything, so Broman's kind of screwed with that. You have, what was it, A Tywin, which is a direct counter to Broman, right? Cleanse the silence, then you're screwed. So Broman's kind of fallen off a little bit. I do use him in my Arena and Guild War defense though, so that's why he's still geared. Made him bulky, a little slower. Again, he's not running the best speed pieces, right? Not running the best speed stuff. He's just using whatever I have laying around, which is unfortunate, but my gear spread quite thin. Effectiveness is quite nice though. I'm very happy about that. And he's currently on my only copy of Abyssal. I'm so sad that I merged a copy into this, but it is what it is. Alright, so hopefully one day he can make a comeback. That would be quite nice. Alright, next up we have Silverblade Aramintha. Yeah, she goes really well with Broman. I do actually love picking both of those into like Arena and Guild War fights. Strip all the buffs with Broman, stun everything with Aramintha, and then control the rest of the game. So I would sometimes bring in Fire Lidica, maybe Faithless Lidica. Sometimes I'll bring in Special Change Wanda as like my other utility unit for damage or for a little bit of extra control. She's on Tagahel's because, again, I do not have more Abyssals, very sad, but if I had more Abyssals, she'd get it. But Tagahel's here is actually not the worst thing. It gives her souls, so soul burning and putting burns on everybody, so it's not bad. It's really nice, too, because whenever I pick her with Specialty Change Wanda, you can soul burn Wanda and ignore the effect res of your opponent and stun for 2 turns. So, very, very strong. Alright, moving on here, we have Doris. Yeah, she needs to be re-geared. She's not great. She's not fantastic. I definitely need more, like, res on her. But she's really just used to tank dark units, and she does her job. She does her job in terms of doing that. Yeah, I'd like to this isn't a piece I'd probably use stuff on, but, you know, if I could, I'd get rid of this, like, crit damage and stuff. Again, not a piece I'd really re-roll, but if I had infinite stones, I would. Here, like, get rid of the crit damage there, right? Here, get rid of the crit damage here. Maybe the attack, actually. Maybe the attack. Get some, like, HP percent or something in there. But, yeah, she's not the best build. I really do want to give her better treatment. She's on Water's Origin. Because if Rylets or something, she's a light bait, right? So Rylets and stuff are going to attack into her. This helps her live. Not too bad. For a unit you can build for free, I highly recommend doing it, by the way. Alright, next up, we have Ruel. She's actually making a comeback in RTA. Mine's not even fully mullet here. I don't even mullet her S2. It's never come up for me where I'm like, ah, shoot, if only I mullet her S2, I would have won that fight. But I love her gear. It hasn't really changed. Very tanky, high effect res. She's gonna put in work. If you pick her in RTA, you're probably in it for the long haul. So, this here, right? I could probably reroll this flat attack, or sorry, attack percent into flat HP, right? Get her to like 19k HP or something. But otherwise, the rest of her stats here, they're all pretty much optimized, right? Effect res, defense speed, effect res, defense speed. There's nothing here that's wasted. No wasted stats on her. Just that attack roll here. Just that. But yeah, she's on Water's Origin, again, because people are going to try to nuke her down. This helps her stay alive. This helps her cut. Helps push up her combat readiness so she can heal herself. Alright, next up we have Commander Lorena, no longer used in expeditions, but I do use her in raids all the time. She is the queen of PvE alongside Luluca. So, on free attack set, random piece here. She can have a lot more potential, but I give her defense and like things with HP and defense and stuff because she needs bulk to survive. If I auto in things like Hell Raid and stuff, she needs to be able to take a couple hits. So that's the reason why she's on, specifically on these pieces of gear. But again, she has enough damage here that it really does not matter that you're not optimizing all of the potential rolls that went into bulk, right? Daydream Joker because PvE unit, so does more damage to bosses. Very nice. All right, moving on. Dark Corvus here. Yeah, does Dark Corvus things. Oops. All right, yeah, does Dark Corvus things. Then slowly stripping his gear over time. Even stripped his artifact here for the unit that you see that's coming up, Kitty Clarissa. So yeah, Strat Gauntlet here, it doesn't really come up where he gets too many debuffs. In the teams that you're bringing him against, they're really bulky, tanky teams, and most of those teams don't just crowd control you to death, right? So if you're fighting things like Krau, Ruel, and I don't know, another unit that's very tanky, you just bring Dark Corvus and just sit there until you can S3 everything. So that's what he is right there. Next up, though, very interesting stuff. Kitty Clarissa. That's right. So Kitty Clarissa here. Yeah, look at that effect res. And that's without even a reforge on her weapon here, right? She could give you more effect res, even more speed. But yeah, effect res 33%, 24% here, a lot of speed. This is actually a very nice piece. I'm very happy with this one. This piece here is one of my favorites. I want to reroll this crit damage away, get like flat HP there, just to give her more bulk. Right now she's actually pretty decent in terms of the bulk department. This is a ring. I was very happy with this ring actually. 16 speed and on effect res ring. Reroll this for flat HP. Very happy about that. And this one here might give her the crit chance, but put like HP %. That'd be kind of nice too, right? So overall, she's very, very strong. The effect res here is already enough on its own, right? You can already resist anything that has 150% effectiveness, but then Strat Gauntlet here adds 60% more. So this is a 300% effect res Kitty Clarissa. You'll never debuff her. You need someone that has over 200% effectiveness to be able to debuff her. But anyone who has that much effectiveness is probably giving up a lot of speed for it as well, because you need the rolls to go into effectiveness. So you'll just never debuff her. I've used her in RTA a couple times. Unfortunately, not in recording. It's just me playing on my own. She puts in work, right? They go first, they debuff, and then she just cleans everything, and then you win. So, very, very nice unit. Very happy that I built her up. Very cute as well. All right, moving on, we have ML Ken. ML Ken's been re-geared. Oh, look at this. Look at these stats. Oh, yeah, that's an ML Ken, right? And he's all on free gear. Not a single piece here is anything that you can't get either, right? All this free. It just rolled too much into bulk, right? Nobody else can use this, right? You'd get this piece, you'd be like, oh, I want to attack and crit chance. Nope. Nope, HP and defense it is. All right, on to ML Ken it goes. This piece right here was perfect, right? Came from Tower, the Automaton Tower, the first time it got released, so it had an attack set. So, yeah. In most cases, you'd look at this and be like, oh wow, it's garbage, but oh my god, slap it on ML Ken? Look at this. Absolutely amazing. Completes the attack set. It used to have a defense percent ring here or something like that, but that brought him to 1500 defense. But look at this, his defense is almost there too. I re-rolled this. I think this last line here, yeah, this used to be effectiveness. Re-roll into defense. Just more bulk. Give him bulk, right? I kind of want to, I'm tempted to roll away like crit chance, like here, like roll away the crit chance, give him even more bulk, but honestly, having a little bit of crit chance is okay on him, just for his turn, you know, whenever he gets a turn, every once in a blue moon, you'll be able to hopefully crit something, 50-50. He's on Sigret Scythe, he's on my weaker Sigret Scythe, just a plus 15 one. He puts in enough work anyway, and with this bulk, it's actually really hard to get him in Sigurd's range. It's like suffering from success. I drafted him RTA, and people will just RB into him like twice, and it won't even get him below half health. And then I get like cleaned up by a random Watcher Shuri or something, like a speed Watcher Shuri. I got one shot by a Watcher Shuri because my Ken never got procced into Sigurd's from 2 RB S3s, and one was a Gab, And so yeah, Aureus Adamant with this ML Ken, you're just not dying unless you get one shot. So just be careful of like LQCs and Watcher Shuri CDOMs, and you'll be good. Alright, moving on here, we have FCC. Yeah, that's right, FCC is finally built for me, and here are her stats, right? Just, for me, it's a purely tank FCC. No other job but to sit there and just soak damage. Just sit there and soak damage. What is the opponent going to do? Kill you? Nope, not when you have FCC around. Thick barriers, right? 26k HP, 1500 defense. Like, you don't need effectiveness. You're going to provoke every DPS 100% of the time. 100% chance to provoke on S1, right? Broken unit. Which, by the way, Crimson Armin's also getting that buff. So, Crimson Armin also going to be a broken unit. Aureus here, though. Very nice. Plus 30, right? Soak up more damage. That's just her job on my teams. If I draft her, it means I don't want you to kill me. So, yeah. That's it. That's FCC right there. Moving on, we have Arbiter Vildred. I like bulk on my RB. Mine's not a tank RB, mine's not a counter RB, mine's just the regular old DPS RB, but he just happens to have 1k defense and 10k HP. As you probably notice is the trend with a lot of my DPS units, I like to have 1k defense and at least 10k HP on them. Helps them kind of live through attacks, right? And, you know, I can re-roll stuff like this, like get rid of effect res here, get flat attack. Oh no, I already have flat attack. Get like crit chance. He already has 100% crit chance. Might allow me to swap some pieces around, like maybe this piece. This actually rolled really well, but, you know, maybe find another, like this piece, right? I can get more crit damage here. Just reduce the crit chance, right? If I get some crit chance here. So, you know, I can play around with some pieces, potentially get him to min-max a little bit more damage, squeeze a little bit more out of him. Plus 15 Alexa's Basket because I'm a pleb, and yeah, that's pretty much it. He does have one imprint because I randomly got a copy of Green Vildred, so slapped it onto Arbiter Vildred. Didn't really feel like the speed imprint from Green Vildred would be worth it unless I maxed it out, so didn't want to invest that far into that, so any little bit of damage I can squeeze out of RB is what I went with. Alright, next up we have ML Rin. She's no longer my fastest unit, because again, Celeste is, but 280 speed, can contest Cerise's, right? It doesn't matter if Cerise goes first, you can still put up immunity on your team, you can still steal her invincibility buffs, right? Very nice unit. But yeah, again, you can min-max a lot of these stats I can re-roll, like get rid of the res, get rid of the crit damage even, right, for something else, for some more bulk or anything like that. More effectiveness, right? Like here, I can get rid of the crit chance, get the effectiveness in there. That'd be a pretty nice necklace then. Get rid of the attack percent here, put HP, right? There's a lot of things that you can change around. I like the substat stone things. Right? It grew on me. It grew on me. She is currently on RNL, which helps her proc, helps her cycle her stuns and everything. I actually do really like using her with FCC, because not only does FCC protect her with more bulk, but FCC can provoke lock somebody. Emma Rin can technically, if she loops fast enough, she can actually stun lock somebody. I gave her more effectiveness. She still gets 15%ed every single day, but 150 plus effectiveness, quite nice. You can stun healers and stuff too with it. Alright, moving on here, we have all-rounder Wanda, specialty change Wanda. So here are her stats right here. She's on a more DPS-focused build, still a bit of effectiveness, right? Still a little bit. Not too much, but yeah. She works. Again, I like to get like more damage. I mean, I wouldn't reroll this. Like, I wouldn't use stones on this, but would like more crit damage, would like a bit more attack here and there. Right? There's no attack anywhere here, not even flat attack. So it would be kind of nice. I do like the bulk on her though. She can take a couple hits, especially with Guiding Light. But yeah, like these pieces, like I can reroll this effect res, get like attack percent or something here. Be kind of cool. But she's a low priority unit, so that's why I haven't done anything with her yet. But I do like drafting her into Rylets. I like using her into Guild Wars, like Guild War Rylets on defense, snipe him down. She's on Guiding Light just so she's protected at the start of the round. She's not fast enough. Most Rylets might go before her, so if the Rylet goes, it's not going to kill her. So she's guaranteed to get an S3 off into the Rylet afterwards. Alright, so moving on, we have Briarwitch Iseria. Speaking of Rylets here, finally maxed out her artifact, and this is what she looks like. Such a fun unit. I might try her out on speed boots. We will see, but right now her current build, I love it so much. Push her up, right, with a Rose, with Lidica or somebody. Or don't. Just bring somebody with Bastion with her, right? I might put Bastion on somebody else just so I can bring Briarwitch Iseria more often into games. It gives her a thick barrier, gives her immunity, because I don't have immunity set on her. She's on full damage build. And she claps, right? Soulburn S3, symbol of unity here, you're never missing. You're going to be clapping Rylets, you're going to be clapping Moonlight Dreamblade units, everything. They're all gone. They're all gone. Tempest Surins, right? All that stuff, gone. Very, very strong unit. And yeah, again, I know some people are like, well, she has enough of a buff. If this hit chance was like 50%, if this hit chance was 50%, she'd be perfect as a unit, right? No one can evade her, which would be very nice. All right, so next up, Oxlots. Yeah, here's my Scuffed Oxlots. I actually don't mind him being very slow. What I do want to do is give him bulk. I want to give him like 18k HP, like 1,500 plus defense at about this speed, right? If I can do that, that would be so nice. And he has the potential for it. I mean, look at his chest piece. It sucks, right? Look at this attack percent here, right? It sucks. There's like stuff that you don't need. I'd like to give him bulk, right? Yeah, he just, I mean, almost like none of this stuff's reforged. Not even boots are reforged, right? So he's slow, but he's speed tuned. He's speed tuned with my Angelica, which is coming up. He's speed tuned with my Angelica for Guild Wars and Taga Hell's Ancient Book to help soulburn anybody he pushes up, and you win games, right? He just does his stuff. He just does his thing. But yeah, I even when Cleave was a thing, I never drafted him because I never put all my best speed gear into him either. He just kind of exists. Alright, Cdom here though, very proud of my Cdom, so here we go, here's all her stats. Again, things like this, effectiveness, you can swap this for crit chance, right? Which allows me to open up some of my other pieces, because she only needs 50%. Or, you can keep that crit chance, get above 50% crit chance, which I know some people are doing because of Politis, right? And you can go off of that. So there we go. Like, see this effectiveness here? You can get rid of that, put, I don't know, put some more bulk on her so she doesn't die as easily. Yeah, right here, like, I don't know what you could put there. Flat attack somewhere, get rid of the HP, right? Get rid of the effect res here, get some crit chance, right? Not too bad there. This is actually a pretty decent ring if you can do that, right? Get rid of the effect res for crit chance there. Same thing here, probably get rid of HP or defense here, put some crit chance. But yeah, I like her bulk. She does survive a little bit. You can take like a hit before dying. I like her damage with her speed. Over 200 speed is very important because of the fact that she gets pushed up even if you only get 3 crits. And she's on crit chance team imprint. So the reason for that, well, she's always on it, but my Cerise has like 78% crit chance, I think. She's not on a crit chance necklace. If you notice with my Cerise, she's not on a crit chance necklace. It's because if I draft her with Cdom and Cdom gets through with the Cerise has 90% crit chance. I just need to crit 3 units for Cdom to get pushed up all the way, right? I don't need to crit 4 units for that. That's why her speed is so high. So that's so there are certain reasons for that too, and also because if the opponent drafts Rylet or Mercer or someone who has evasion to try to screw over your Cdom play, you just need to crit 3 people. So you can ignore the Rylet, you can just crit the 3 other units, and then you'll get pushed up. So quite good, quite good. All right, next up we have Champion Zerato. I re-geared him. He is looking so thick, so good. Yeah, but farming Banshee, right? Getting lifesteal stuff. So these were the free pieces from Abyss. I might replace his helmet soon. But we'll see. This could use I-90. It actually rolled really well, right? Pretty high rolls here. Pretty high rolls. Very happy with this piece. This Banshee piece right here, looking pretty sick. Looking pretty nice. If I can get like an HP reroll and get rid of the attack here, right? Get that HP in there, that'd be quite good as well. I like his defense. Like, I don't mind rolling into things like flat defense at all. It's really, really powerful. Defense here is way too good to pass up, so I went with that, right? This is no other damage subs here. Crit chance, crit damage. And he still has pretty high crit chance, so it's pretty good. And then the last piece here. This used to be attack percent, rerolled it into defense percent, and give him extra bulk. 16k HP, 1500 defense. Like, you're not going to be killing him. He's on lifesteal. He has actually pretty good damage as well. 240 crit damage, 2,700 attack. So, not too bad at all. I specifically went on my way to get a second plus 30 Aila Violin just for him. Love Champion Zerato. Been drafting him against debuff teams. Always gets banned, never gets through. But, hey, does his job, right? Does his job. So, there we go. And last but not least, we have Angelica. Ignore that unit down there. Totally not a secret unit I'm working on right now. But Angelica right here, yeah, does her thing, right? I think she's currently on self-imprint. Yeah, self-imprint effect res doesn't really matter too much. With Shimadra's staff, she gets put over 150 res. So she's pretty good. I need to reforge this for more speed. She's speed-tuned with Oxlots. So Angelica, you can Oxlots boost somebody like Brywitch Iseria, claps Arby's, claps everything, nothing can revive, and it's over. I use her a lot against Maid Chloe's on Guild War defenses. I don't know why people put Maid Chloe's on Guild War defenses, but I see them sometimes, so it's very nice. Yeah, so she's on things like crit damage, like Necklace, like just random stuff that has speed that no one else uses, right? This piece actually rolled quite well. I don't remember what this one, I think it was crit chance here. I think it was crit chance, so I just reroll that into defense. And yeah, these substat change stones, again, are fantastic. They're amazing. I love them. But yeah, then there we go. That's it. That's Angelica. She does her work. I don't know. I don't use her too often in RTA anymore. I used to as an RB counter, but nowadays, just nobody really goes and first picks RB all too often. Even late in the draft, if RB's available, not a lot of people go for him. They'd rather tank up with General Purrgis and things. But there you guys have it. Those are all of my units this time around. Hopefully you guys found something that was interesting, that you liked, that was impressive of some sorts. Hopefully this has helped you kind of, find units for you to build, right? Things to reference off of. So yeah, with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more Epic 7 content, and leave a comment down below letting me know what I can do to improve. And until next time, take care.